Hello and welcome to the weekly Technic Analysis Outlook, this time for the week starting 23rd of October 2023. You are watching the free weekly version where we cover the TTF and Brent. My name is Marcello Kolax. I'm the managing director at Clever Markets, and I have a little bit of good news as well. So if you are a reader of Carbon Pulse, you will from now on occasionally see a little comment from me. All right, let's have a look at the charts. All right, let's start with the TTF front month product. So as we can see, we have the weekly, the daily, and the 15-minute chart in front of us. So last week, that was quite a week. A big week of nothing but a lot of potential losses. Okay, so zooming out on the weekly chart, what we do see is that, yep, the downtrend is over, and we have 2 weeks ago moved above the rectangle at it's around 50, and above the ascending triangle as well, which is at 44.8. So last week then we had this candle. What is this? Well, is it a hanging man, or is it maybe a bearish harami? It is not quite clear. Not so much a hanging man, maybe a harami, which usually leads to some decline. But we are a little bit of a congestion zone right now. So what I want to see is truly a clear break below 44.8 in order for correction to go on a little bit longer, or a move above 56.17, which also aligns with the 200-day moving average in order for the bulls to continue. So here's the thing, even if we break a little bit lower, that would still be okay for the midterm uptrend, because as long as we make higher highs and higher lows, we are still in the clear for the bulls. So don't be too concerned, maybe a little pullback before we move higher. Why do I think there will be oh, by the way, and we do have the MACD, the stochastics and the MACD all pointing higher. One rule is never forecast the forecasting tools, so we're not quite yet taking this bullish signal on the MACD, but we can see that overall on the stochastic, we are flowing higher, which is a good solid bullish indication. Let's have a look at the daily chart. So this was where a lot of losses were made last week. So let's digest what happened, and then we'll see for a way forward. I wrote throughout the week, the stance was, so this is the uptrend, and now we are retracing a little bit lower. And as long as we stay above the 38.2% FIB retracement, which is like the 48.27 euros per megawatt hour, as long as we stay above this level, this is just considered a shallow correction. Below 38.2%, very easily we could go to 43.43, which is the 61.8% FIB. And this is like the standard retracement. Below that, we could make it all the way and close the gap near 38 if we put on the Ichimoku cloud, which I like to use as a broad directional clue indicator sort of type. We still see, okay, so the green cloud is still rising. We are still on the way higher. I remove that because it's getting very, very messy. I also do like using the 8 and the 12 exponential moving averages for a crossover. So right now it's still looking bullish, so there's nothing really to worry about. We also did see that stochastic is bottoming out in neutral territory. So it's showing that, okay, maybe this correction is kind of over. So how you can read this from a psychological perspective, we are not even moving into oversold territory, and the market is already pulling higher. So this looks fairly bullish. The only thing that might be a little bit worrying is the MACD flattening off, but that is normal considering that nothing happened on the chart. We are a little bit on a sideways. That's perfectly fine. Okay, so what do I think will happen? We are neutral as we are progressing through this sideways correction lower. Below 48.27, I would probably turn somewhat bearish if it is confirmed with tools. Other than that, probably the bulls will continue if we start making flowing higher highs and higher lows. Waiting for the 56.1 to break might be a little bit late for the bulls, Some might be already in. There's some good plays to be had. Some tight stop placement, especially on the intraday charts. Because here we do see, so this is the 15-minute chart. I will now move to the hourly chart. We do see that we did have last week this head and shoulders forming. We have an ascending trend line, so it's all looking set up for the bears. And we did bounce off this neckline near 46.67. We bounced higher, and we made our first flow of higher highs and higher lows. Now the question is this another low, and are we continuing to push higher? Because if so, then this flow of higher highs and higher lows would be more significant than this potential head and shoulders, because the potential is still there. Because this is called maybe a complex head and shoulders right now, where we have a normal left shoulder, somewhat of a double or triple top head, and then the right shoulder is a little bit extended before we break lower. So where's the target? Well, the target for the head and shoulders is the length of this pattern, or the width of this pattern, then applied to the breakout direction, and that is somewhere in the 35 euros area. So this is crazy low, and it would break below quite a few important levels on the daily chart as well. Can you see? It would bring us directly to the lower trend channel. So truly, I believe below 38.2%, which is 48.27, we could probably activate the neckline, the head and shoulders neckline. We could push below that, and below that we're more or less in a free fall towards this level. That's why this is so important. But no worries, we do get a stepped approach. So if this was to happen, then we still get enough warning and enough entry points. Okay, so no worries about that. But for now, I don't see it happening. I am still fairly bullish after all. Why is that? Because on the hourly stochastic, we do see the same thing. We are not even moving into oversold territory, and the market is already bottoming, pushing higher. And also on the hourly, overall, we do have a swing of higher highs and higher lows on the MACD. So that looks good. Also, we still have the 8 moving average above, it's exponential above the 12. Yes, they are coming a bit together and they are moving lower, but there is no clear crossover yet. So the bullish signal remains. It is a little bit worrying, but it is still there. The next thing that makes me think, maybe we have bottomed out, is on the 15-minute chart. So we say this up leg, and that's the downside correction. And usually these deeper corrections, they go around 61.8%. That's like by textbook, the downside correction. And aha, there you go. 61.8%. Yeah, that's the uptrend. And we retrace 23, 38, 50, 61.8%. Have we found support here and we bounce higher, then of course above this peak, then I am okay to remove the tentative head and shoulders from the intraday chart. But this morning can get dangerous. So I want to wait for a break past this range, 49.27, 51.42, in order to really confirm, have we bottomed out and are we moving higher, or should we be worried about the neckline? So that is it for the TTF front month. Thank you very much. And before we move over to Brent, just a little public service announcement. My name is Marcello Kolax, and you can find me on LinkedIn. I am very active there. Every single day, I post a mini analysis on whatever is happening or interesting in the European energy markets. So do make sure you follow me. If you want to learn more about the work that I do, go to www.clevermarkets.com. You'll find everything about our company, about the things we do. And if not, please enjoy whatever we put out here on a regular basis. Really, what we are trying to do here is simply spread technical analysis knowledge for European energy traders. We are trying something new here. We are trying to change the industry. And now, back to Brent. All right, and now it is time for Brent front month. That was quite an anxiety-inducing week, wasn't it? Okay, so let's recap. we do see that overall in the midterm, yes, we have broken above this rectangle that's been caging in prices, well, for over a year almost, and we did marginally break back into it, and now we are back above it. On the daily chart, it looks more like this. So you can see this channel here was broken, and now we did test the pullback resistance here. So the old support that's now turning into resistance. And on the intraday chart, we do see overall, as we'll discuss in a second, a swing of like higher highs and higher lows. So what is happening? First of all three outlooks are reasonably bullish. Okay, let's start with the weekly chart. We did have this bullish harami pattern that usually leads to more gains. We only had like a marginal increase in price. We do have a little bit of a spinning top. That's a small bodied candle with long wicks, and that simply means indecision. It doesn't mean trend reversal, it simply means indecision with no directional bias. In order to get a directional bias, we have to look at tools. So we do see that the MACD is actually pushing higher. So we are still well above the zero lines, all looking good here. On the stochastic, we do see, yes, we have pushed lower, but for a trend, to look at a trend, it is better for the stochastic to look at the general direction. So we do see that overall, yes, we are making higher highs and higher lows on the stochastic. So that's what we use the tool for as the market actually progresses. Let's have a look at the Ichimoku cloud, what's happening here. And we do see that, so where we actually topped out just below 100, so it's 97.69, we are in the midst of the thick red Ichimoku cloud. It is coming green. We do have the lagging line, which is part of the Ichimoku cloud, is above the price, which is a first bullish indication. We are pushing into the thick cloud. We are having a green cloud ahead, and the last confirming indication of the market reversing to the upside would be the lagging line actually closing above the cloud. So can you see how the Ichimoku cloud itself is giving us a full system and layered signals? So we do have the Kijun-sen and the Tenkan-sen, which simply is just two lines that can be read like moving averages. So we have a bullish signal here, all looking good. Lagging line above price, also bullish. We are overall still making higher highs and at least a higher low here. And we're now waiting for the market to break above the Ichimoku cloud. So it's all looking pretty okay. I did go bearish, or was it neutral, a couple of weeks ago, as we broke below back into the rectangle. I think it was neutral, because we are working through this correction, and in line with the Clever Markets methodology, a neutral mid-term market means we are not having a bias on the daily chart either. We're really still looking of where things could be going. So let's have a look. So this dipped lower and now we're retracing higher. What does it look like on the daily chart? So you can see this is the channel. Higher highs, higher lows, looking good. We did break below the channel, and a break below the channel usually means that we want to get out of any sort of long position, just in case we have a real trend reversal as soon as we start making our first lower low, right? But we did found support around this area, so we are still making higher lows. So the uptrend shouldn't be all that undone, but at a slower pace, right? So this was a steeper pace. Now we're at a little bit of a slower pace. We haven't made a new high yet, so we are kind of waiting this out, because this level, once broken, can now turn into resistance. As you can see, yeah, we've been scraping along this resistance level for a week now. So what does this happen? What are the tools saying? Overall, it makes sense if we maybe have a little bit of a price decline during the first half of the week. At least there's potential for that. But overall, looking at the MACD, we are still pushing higher, although at a slower pace. So here we are bullish on the daily chart. So we are looking for entry opportunities, for long entry opportunities on the intraday chart. Let's have a look what that looks like. Let's start with the hourly chart. There you go. I want to zoom out and I want to show that, yeah, actually we are making higher highs and higher lows. We are swinging higher overall, which is good for the bulls. So what are the tools actually saying? Well, we do see that although we are making higher highs and higher lows on price, we are not really making much progress on the MACD. The MACD is just more or less moving sideways. We are not making new highs. So that is a warning, not a trading signal, just a warning that maybe the bulls are not all that strong. Then we look at the stochastic. Oh my god. Let's go this way. We look at the stochastic and we do see, yeah, we did get a bullish signal, which is in line with this hammer candle that formed exactly at, let's give this a try, at the 50% retracement. Remember, if we have like a deeper correction, usually correct lower between 50 and 61.8%. Simply the fact that this is a really long lower wick shows that this was the support level that's of significance. So actually, yeah, probably we might be moving higher. However, what is this? We see that the 8 and the 12 exponential moving average still give a bearish signal. So what is happening? Let's have a look at the weekly chart. So, weekly chart, overall, the idea is still paused. We are working through this correction and we're not trying to jump on major trends on the daily chart. What is happening on the daily chart? We are bullish overall with the evidence available to us. However, early this week, there's a chance of a little bit of a further price decline because I do not think that these flow of higher highs and higher lows can be maintained for much longer, maybe on Brent. So it all really depends on this tight 9166, 9258 range on the 15-minute chart. Sorry, this is the hourly chart. On the hourly chart, to see if we are actually pushing higher on the daily or if we are correcting lower. If you want to be a little bit more precise, we can have a look at the 15-minute chart, which is already giving signals that the market has bottomed out. Yeah, so we are not quite getting a bullish signal on the stochastic, but we are pushing higher on the stochastic. So watch this area on Monday, see if we break higher or if we break lower. This will then dictate whether or not we what will happen on the hourly chart, if we are pushing higher or lower as well. And then if the flow of higher highs and higher lows is maintained, the uptrend on the daily chart is maintained. If we push lower, 9166, then very quickly we could probably undo this and we would enter another sideways range. That is it for Brent front month for the week starting 23rd of October. If you found that useful, do find me on LinkedIn and also send me a message. I do have a little WhatsApp group going on that seems to be fairly popular, where I produce technical analysis for the TTF front month every single day. So get in touch, see you around, happy trading, and bye-bye.